Dhananjay Sinha now joins in from Emkay Global. Dhananjay, hi, good morning. What's your call on the market right now? Do you think you can still buy at current levels, or would you actually wait for a bit of a correction now?
I think whether one can trade this or not, it's a very difficult thing, and it depends on what perspective you have in terms of your holding period. But nevertheless, I believe that the sentiment that has been building up since the announcement of the election date has been fairly positive, and the market has been positive. And I think till the elections, some of these things will play out. As I have spoken to a lot of clients here, I think there is a sense of lack of conviction on the upward movement that we have seen, at least with the domestic clients. That's what we are hearing. And I guess people want to play this rally, and they want to have a cutoff date from which they would like to book profits. So I think the critical issue that people are actually looking for is that till end of April there are very few events or a policy announcement that are due to be released. So I think. And following that, you will have all the results that will be coming out. So I think in the interim, people are willing to play that. So people are kind of having a trading view, and some of them are trying to play on to the high beta names. And I think the peak of this exuberance will be seen when even poor quality stocks start moving up. Apart from that, what we hear from global investors is that the flow is largely coming from US investors, and it does appear that there is a reallocation from other emerging markets into India, and that's again riding on the Modi trade. So I think that's how things are panning out. So I guess it will be a trading markets. There is a possibility of upside nevertheless in the interim.
Dhananjay, hi. Thanks very much for joining in. What is the upside potential for the Nifty at this point in time? Any levels?
No, it's very difficult to put out a level. So what we had said is in December that Sensex could, I am tracking Sensex, so Sensex could go up to 22,000. It has actually reached there, possibly breached that as well. There might be limited upside over there, but I think what is really happening is that the index is being churned with people coming out of IT names from pharma and some of the auto names which have actually done well, moving significantly into banking and capital goods, and some of the high beta names. So I think on the overall, the index might actually have limited upside, but I think from a stock perspective, since there will be a churning, there is a possibility that high beta names could continue to outperform during the period that I've just mentioned.
Okay, so let's talk about some mid caps, Dhananjay. Any stocks that you're pushing to your clients at current levels? We've seen big rally in stocks like VIP, Crompton, Praj Industries, Syntex. Any of these stocks or any other stocks that tops your mind?
So I think the way we have actually positioned ourselves is that since we had anticipated this kind of exuberance, so we had a mix of cyclical, good quality cyclicals, and we also had our core call, which is basically aligned to sectors or companies that will be able to deliver, or those have visibility in terms of earnings. But we also picked up some deep value stocks. So basically, things that we had actually mentioned and we continue to push for are things like Ramco Cement, Grasim, TNPL. We had DCM, Shriram, which is something that we had added, Voltas, Coromandel. So these are the names that we have been looking at. You can have many more.
Sure.
But I think these are things that we are kind of pushing for.
Okay. Dhananjay, just reverting back to your earlier answer, in the sense that we've seen such a strong run-up for the markets, 5% for this series itself, Do you think that it might be prudent to take some profit off the table, say somebody who invested in, say, a BPCL at the start of the year or an L&T at the start of the year is sitting with gains of around 17% to 28% respectively. So would it be prudent for them to take some profit off the table because of the uncertainty that might lie ahead?
Yes. Yeah, I think, you're right. So basically, it will be advisable to actually take off. You might have some furthermore run up, but I think if you have made significant gains, many of these stocks have given more than 20% or 30% gains. So I think, it will be advisable to take some part of that that gains off the table. So we are saying that while there has been correction in the IT and pharma stocks, we are still overweight those sectors. And in these corrections where you have seen about 8 to 10 or 10 to 12% correction, I think these are opportunities to buy in.
Dhananjay, what about stocks like Arvind, Ashok Leyland, which have had a one-way rally this month? How would you approach these stocks?
Yeah, I think Ashok Leyland, I'm not very convinced whether the rally could actually continue. I think it is part of the same thing, which is basically playing up high beta, and basically there is an assumption that investments will start picking up after the new government comes in, and as a result of that, CV sales will start recovering, etc. And as a result of that, with Ashok Leyland having corrected so much, people saw value in that. My sense is that there might be disappointment on that front. So, we are kind of somewhat negative on Ashok Leyland. I have been negative for quite some time, almost like 2 years. I do not see still, a scenario where CV sales would actually start picking up going forward. And what we are seeing is that the MHCV sales is actually continuing to be negative, and you see that LCV, light commercial vehicle sales also is actually lagging with that contraction in growth. So overall, I'm not very bullish on the domestic CV business. With respect to Arvind, I think this is a stock we had actually picked up long time back, almost like 8 months back. And that's largely on the back of the fact that rupee had depreciated. We had export as our basis as a bit larger theme. And we thought that companies which are in the textile industries, which benefit from better exports, are companies that will benefit. I think a large part of it has been done. I think one should actually book profit there, or take off part of the profits over there.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Dhananjay.